Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Banknote Trading, where we take a look at the US dollar pairs and the Forex market. Today, we'll start by taking a look at Euro USD on the 4-hour chart, and we'll start by mapping out the current range over a series of days. Of course, last month, it was all the consolidation, started to break structure to the upside, bullish swing structure, but seller started to step back in, broke structure to the downside, didn't get past this area of demand. Now price has been in consolidation since about last week, just in this area of consolidation, waiting to see if it can continue, if the dollar gets weaker, expecting this to go ahead and take out the liquidity sitting over these highs, or if not, if the dollar gets stronger, then this area of supply should continue to push prices lower. But waiting to see, obviously, in this area of consolidation, could play this range, trading the bottom and the top, this resistance and the support, but just waiting to see this trend to continue, either lower, continuing this internal bearish structure, or continue to swing structure, making this the higher low from these lows. But just waiting to see any decision being made on price, any momentum shift in either direction. GBP USD, let's go map out the current range. And of course, this being the higher low from this low, which was the higher low from these lows. This higher low, of course, took out the highs of the previous range, and then seller step back in, breaking structure to the downside, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Now buyer step back up with this V-shaped recovery, waiting to see if this can be sustained, because it did start to take out some of the highs, went past its supply area, unlike Euro, USD, but more recently still just consolidating in this area. Even though it did go above this area, it's just been consolidating. We're going to see any momentum, if momentum can pick up and continue to push higher, because the overall swing structure is bullish, internal structure is bullish, fractal structure also breaking to the upside. We do have to see if this strong push from these sellers will continue also, but it does look like it is starting to take off some of these highs internally, so we look for any type of opportunity to buy once it does pick up momentum to the upside. Also take out this whole area, these highs also, and we look at any type of opportunity to buy in order to target the highs of the overall range. And we briefly take a look at DXY. As you can see, no real movement from yesterday. It just continues to trade sideways. No real break of any lows or any highs. Overall swing structure bearish. Buyer stepped back in, came back to this area of resistance, and then seller stepped back in, broke structure to the downside, even got past this area of demand that pushed prices higher. And like I said, recently, since yesterday, this week, just been consolidating in this area, waiting to see if momentum can pick up in either direction. Even with the government shutdown, no real impulse move in either direction. Waiting to see if it can start to take out some of these highs, or to continue the internal bullish pressure, or if it can continue this overall swing structure back down, taking out this area of demand. AUD USD, let's go map out the current range. Of course, we were saying this could have been forming the higher low from these lows. Of course, there's liquidity sitting under these lows still, but from this point, buyer step back in, waiting to see what happens when price came back into this area of demand to sell. Spot before the sell, as sellers step back in from these highs. This up move, of course, price has come back into that area, tapped into this area of resistance from those highs, from this lower high internally. Of course, overall swing structure bullish. It's internally was bearish, and buyer step back in, and now we've just been consolidating waiting to see any momentum pick up in either direction. It's possible that we go ahead and continue to push past this resistance and continue our bullish push to higher prices, or if this longer continues, means price can possibly reverse. This V-shaped recovery can sustain, waiting to see if any type of momentum can pick up in order to push past and target the highs of the overall range. But if not, we would expect it to go ahead and take out this, start targeting the lows of this overall structure. NZD USD, let's go map out the current range. And of course, this being these highs took out the previous lows. And of course, it continued internally until the swing structure is bearish, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And of course, we said yesterday, starting to correctively push higher. Could be an ascending channel. As prices continue to push up, it did push past this area of supply that pushed prices back down. I was coming up to this area of supply, which I was saying yesterday. Just waiting to see, since I said this is the more bearish USD pair, waiting to see if it can retrace back up to the discount or retrace back up into one of these supply areas, and then momentum shift back down. I'll be looking for any type of selling opportunity to take out these lows, which liquidity is sitting under, or overall the lows of the overall range. So waiting to see any type of momentum to pick up in that direction. GBP AUD, let's go map out the current range. Has been bearish. Of course, lower lows, lower highs. Sorry, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We were saying yesterday, it's all just been choppy, consolidating, also forming a descending channel. Waiting to see if price can break out of it, because overall swing structure is bearish. It is continuing to make bearish structure breaks. Obviously, you can see that, but it still is in this descending channel. Liquidity sitting over these highs, but only looking for any type of retracement in order to continue selling. Waiting for any type of impulsive moves, any type of momentum to pick up in order to sell back down. It could look like a selling opportunity now, but momentum is not. Like I said, it's just been choppy, so, and consolidating really sideways. But technically, like I was saying yesterday, it is making lower highs and lower lows still. So could be selling opportunity once it does break past these lows to target the lows of the overall range. Waiting to see if this is a liquidity sweep with this wick. But overall, just bearish. Waiting for any opportunity once momentum picks up. GBP NZD, let's go map at the current range. And this is that overall range. Just not do the whole thing. So we know that the buyer stepped back in once the New Zealand economy news came out. The buyer stepped back in from this area. We know the structure broke to the downside, got past the area of demand. Buyer stepped back in. You can see this reversal pattern and started. The prices pushed higher, taking out all this liquidity sitting over these highs. It retraced back down and then broke structure again to the upside, taking out the highs. Waiting to see when it can complete this move higher and target this lower high from this overall range. And as we know right now, started to break down fractionally, bearish and a little choppy. Now it has broken past these lows. Waiting to see if any area can go ahead and push prices back higher. Just waiting to see if momentum can push prices higher and take out the highs of the overall range and then target this lower high of this overall range. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining us.